What is up, YouTube? KM888 here, and I'm going to do some more test hands for you guys in this video. Last time I didn't have my Dragon Collar yet. I still don't have it, but it is ordered, so I'm happy. I will be able to play with that card soon. And yeah, let's just do some test hands. About the extra deck, I am probably going to change the Nightmare Phoenix for a Cyber Quantum Dragon. I'll be getting it this weekend as well. So yeah, there's always that. Well, a friend of mine is getting it this weekend, so he can give it to me. So I'm not really sure where in the next week I'll be getting it, but at least there's always that. And I will also try and test on my own, not in the video because it's kind of awkward to test right here. A Borreload Savage Dragon, because it could be another negate in a certain situation, so it might also be good, and I'm probably going to test that as well. I got a question of a guy on YouTube, I really don't know his YouTube name anymore, why I don't play Pendulum, what is it, Pendulum Halt, the new draw spell. Well, the reason for it is while you do enjoy draw spells in this deck, the Pendulum Halt will stop your draw, so it might be good as a one-off, but if you see it in your opening hand, it would be really terrible, so you'd actually try and draw into it after turn 1, and playing cards like that is just not worth it in this build. In another build, I can actually see Pendulum Halt working at 1 or 2 copies, so yeah, there's always that thing. It's always testing, always trying out. And I do feel Pendulum Halt has a spot in the deck, but not in this one, because it is a little bit more turbo-ish, and yeah, we really need that. So I shuffled my hand already, you saw the power shuffle and all, and my first 5 cards are Harmonizing, Desires, Second Desires, oh my god, no. Not like this, Darkworm, and Curtain Raiser. Okay, we can actually play. So, first things first, Curtain Raiser, use the effect. The reason I'm doing this is because you want to get the gate 0 out of the deck before you Pendulum Summon. It's going to before you use a Pot of Desires is going to be really important. So activating Darkworm's effect, getting the gate 0. So we have the gate 0. We're going to shuffle up. And right here I'm already going to go for the Pot of Desires, because I want to see what cards I'll be drawing before I use my Electromite. So yeah, I'm gonna use Pot of Desires. And then I'm gonna hope I draw into something like a Pendulum Call to drop the other Desires, so we'll see. So Pot of Desires, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's see what we banish first. It's always interesting to look at. We've banished the Pendulum Call, Chronograph, Jackal, we've banished the Slot, that's sad. Servant, Harmonizing, another Servant, the second Pendulum Call, the third Servant, wow, and a Dragon Shrine. Well, at least we didn't banish the Destrudo, but we're definitely not gonna be able to search another Pendulum Call. Watch me draw into Duelist Alliance here. So Duelist Alliance and Into the Void, well, I did call it. So now we end up with 2 brick cards in our hand. These aren't worth a thing, so there's always that. I am going to activate the Into the Void. It is another draw spell, and we're probably going to end up with no cards anyway. So we're gonna go into another Into the Void, and we're gonna use that as well. Upstart Goblin. Oh, we're gonna go deep into the deck. And we have a Black Fang. Alright, this means we do have a high scale, we have a low scale, and we have Harmonizing already. So that's actually not that terrible. So I am going to go for Electromite. Now at this point, if I were in a real tournament, I wouldn't use my Electromite's effect, because if you get Ghost Ogred here, with this hand, you're actually going to die. We don't have the Jackal King payoff in having that card, so yeah, no, you're kind of a bit afraid of the hand trap right here, so I wouldn't use the Electromite. We have a high skill, we have a low skill, we have the Harmonizing. Technically speaking, we have everything we want, so yeah, it's always something. Now at this point, Pendulum Summon, and we're going to Pendulum Summon these 4. We're going to use the Harmonizing's effect, and we're going to summon any other level 4 Magician. So I'm gonna go for the Black Fang since it's the first one that I came across in the deck. Purple Poison would have also be fine. So yeah. Now the one thing you have to look into is you still haven't used your Electromite to cycle a bit. So what we are going to do is we're going to overlay the Curtain Raiser and the Black Fang already. And this time, instead of going for Dweller, the Black Fang can be destroyed by card effects still, so that's always a nice thing. What I'm going to do, for purpose's sake, to let you guys see what you can do, is going to Tornado Dragon, and I'm going to use its effect beforehand on the Black Fang already. I know I have the Electromite still to pop and get a card back, but the thing that I want to do right here is get a Magician in the graveyard for my Black Fang. So I am going to ditch the Black Fang, going to pop it. It's going to the extra deck, and right here you have Electromite Chainlink 1 to draw, and the Black Fang's effect Chainlink 2 to special summon the Black Fang from the graveyard again. So we're going to special summon the Black Fang, and we're going to get a draw. Now we have drawn the Oath Dragon, which is an amazing draw right here, because we have the Black Fang, which we are going to get back from the Electromite, and right then we have another play with the Oath Dragon getting an additional card, so that's always a nice thing. Now you have to keep in your mind, we already normal summoned. So you have to watch out, because else with the Into the Void you are going to discard some cards and you don't want that. We can still set these two as bluffs, and the Desires can always be used next turn, so yeah. Now at this point, so let's see. I'm going to use the Electromite. I'm going to pop the Gate 0 to get back the Black Fang. We're going to scale the Oath Dragon and the Black Fang already, because we just don't want to lose them. Using the Dark Worm to go into... oh, those are the banished cards. To go into the LP. And right here we're going to use this effect. We haven't banished the Destrudo, so... Destrudo. Oh, I can't yet. I haven't made my triple burst, but that's not a problem. We're gonna make the triple burst right here. Before you all are commenting in the description below, it's actually a simple step in between. So, special summoning the Destrudo, going into the Agarpain. And having the Agarpain is just really good. I mean, using the effect, getting the Vortex Dragon, and right here, conform the usual, we are going to make... oh. It's not that easy playing the other way around. We're gonna go for the Heretic Link. It doesn't matter if you summon it here or here, because we still only have one zone. So I'm going to summon it here, so the field is a little bit more diverse, just in case we have to face Mech Knights. Because if you summon it here, you'll be getting two zones where they can special summon, and right here they only have one in the column of the Oath Dragon, so yeah. Not that it matters, because we're going to set these anyway, but yeah. Destrudo's effect right here on the Black Fang, and we're going to synchro summon, and we'll be making Dawndraxa. The thing for me is, if I'm running the Cyber's Quantum Dragon, it will also be a good option for going first or second, so it's also a thing. Now at this point, just set your two cards, because, well, you don't want to lose them for nothing. The Duelist Alliance you don't really care about, but you don't want to give away that you've banished your two Pendulum calls, so that they still think that you're playing them, so that's why I'd be setting it. I'm not going to use the Oath Dragon's effect, because if I added either one of these, I'd probably have to discard it anyway. I don't have anything to get it out of my hands, so yeah. And if you think this field is a little bit worse than normal, since I can't summon the slots with the Heretic, I can still resummon the Destrudo to have my Arcanite play for next turn. And I can also still summon a Dark Worm. A nice interaction here is if I can use the Vortex Dragon before the Heretic Link, I can actually resend the Gate 0 to my deck, And when I use the Heretic Seal to special a Dark Worm, I can re-add the Gate 0, have another card in my hand. So that way, with the Gate 0, your regular draw, the Guardragon add, and the desires that we have will end up on 5 cards again next turn. Having 5 cards does seem really good. So yeah. I'm gonna go into the second hand. Like this, the extra deck. I'm going to power shuffle again. And while power shuffling, I'm going to talk about a little mistake I made in the last test hand video, so you guys know that I did that, and also know that I know it. So apparently the Servant of Endymion, its discard effect to put counters on every card you can put counters on, is only during the opponent's turn. I hadn't read that part of the card as of yet, and I also haven't used that part of the card yet, so doesn't really matter because in tournament play you're hardly ever gonna do that, but it is something that can come up, and if it does, the servant is only during your opponent's turn apparently, so yeah. My apologies for making that kind of small mistake during my last video, but it was also only in an if scenario, like if it would happen then this happens, so yeah. Not really too important, I feel, but yeah. Also, apparently, during my first test hand in the last video, I forgot to search my Gate 0, so that would have been a +1 in our hand, regardless, because we didn't play Into the Void. If we had played Into the Void during that game, we might have not searched the Gate 0 on purpose, so that's also a thing you have to keep in mind. So, next test hand, Harmonizing, Servant, Slot, Gate 0, and Into the Void. Well, we're gonna hope the Into the Void is gonna come into fruition. So, yeah, the hand isn't that great, drawing the 1-off Slot and the 1-off Gate 0. Those things happen, but we're going to see what happens. So, Servant of Endymion, gonna go with Into the Void, and we draw an Guardragon, and this hand is actually kind of terrible. So we get a counter, and we're going to see what we can do with it. Bar the Harmonizing, we don't even have another high scale, so we have to put the Harmonizing in the scale, and the only things we can Pendulum summon are these two. I am going to see what we can do with this hand, but I'm not pretty sure it's going to be amazing, so I am going to Pendulum summon these two. If we had summoned the Slot right here, we wouldn't have had anything for... we wouldn't have been able to make an Electrobite, so yeah. In any case... making set Electromite. So I'm making it here. The thing is, with this kind of hand, you'll lose anyways if you don't use the Electromite. So whether you get Ghost Ogred or not, in this scenario you have to take the chance. So let's say we don't get stopped and the Electromite actually goes off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the Dark Worm, because I still have my normal summon, and with my normal summon I can actually still do some plays. So I'm going to use the effect, I'm going to pop my Harmonizing, and I'm going to re-add the Dark Worm. Now at this point you get a draw from Electromite, and it's the Endymion. So the Endymion is actually kind of nice here, because you can freely scale it, giving a third counter to your Servant of Endymion. Now at this point we are going to use it. So I'm going to summon the Servant right here with 1 counter. And I'm going to summon the Jackal King from the deck. This way you can still do some plays at the very least. So I'm going to summon the Jackal King right here, also with 1 counter. I already spoke about the fact that you want 2 counters on your Jackal King at all times at the very least. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale my Morphage Sloth right here. It is a weird play because it will destroy itself during the next standby phase of myself, but I really want those counters. So I'm going to give my Jackal King 2 more counters, going to normal summon my Dark Worm, and I'm going to go into the Guardragon plays. So I'm gonna go with LP, and then I'm going to use my Servant with the Electromite to make triple burst. And as you see, we are still having the Guardragon plays as a, well, kind of as a recovery play because, well, our field was just terrible. Oh yeah, for the triple burst first. Why did I go into Agar Pain? Like, seriously. I wasn't even able to. LP's effect, I'm going to summon the Destrudo. Destrudo and triple burst into Agar Pain. And right here with the Agar Pain we can easily go into Vortex again. And then we're going to make the Heretic Link. Now, depending on your matchup, like if you know you're playing against Salamangreat, you're going to keep the Jackal King because Jackal King is way more important. If we were going up against Sky Striker, the Jackal King wasn't important, so you can just as well just keep the slot in your hand, have this at 1 counter, and use the Destrudo right here on the Jackal King and make a Dawn Dragster. So this would go back to the bottom in that scenario. And against Sky Striker even, this doesn't seem too terrible. Sure, you don't have the big ass plays that I've done in the other videos, but even with such a terrible hand, we have this. So this is an option, or else you're going to leave the Dawn Dragster alone and you're going to have a Jackal King with 1 or 3 counters, whether you decide it or not. Those were 2 test hand videos. Because we're still not at 20 minutes, I like my videos to be over 20 minutes. When doing test hands, I'm going to do a 3rd one. So yeah, I'm going to hope I don't brick again. Well, it was a nice brick, but against decks that don't play hand traps, like Thunder Dragons, they often don't. Mystic Mine, what else doesn't play? Like Orcust plays like a minimum amount of hand traps, and I've seen a lot of Sky Striker lists lately as well who only play like up to 6 hand traps, and that's actually a chance for us Pendulum players to, well, not be hand trapped and just having to use Electromite freely. So yeah. So let's see. Chronograph, Harmonizing, Oath Dragon, Servant, and Dragon Shrine. This hand is actually really good. We don't have the spell card from the Endymion to search anything else and get 2 counters, but we're still gonna be able to work around it. So using Dragon Shrine, sending the Dark Worm. We didn't draw any of the bricks right here. That's already important. Also, you have to see we didn't draw into any draw spells, but we can still do things, so I'm getting a counter on the Servant, using Dark Worm's effect, special summoning it, getting gate 0, right here I'm going to scale my Chronograph, and I'm actually going to do his effect, but first we get a counter. So, effect of the Chronograph, and we're getting a Time Gazer. Now before we make an Electromite, we want to get the Jackal King out, so we are going to scale something else. Now we have to be really careful. Like, people are keeping their ashes for the Servant, and if they had the ash and they decide not to use it on the Shrine, and they use it on the Endymion, like on the Servant, you're screwed if you scale any of these 2. Well, not really, but if they have Ash plus Ghost Ogre, then you would. So I am going to scale the Harmonizing. We haven't used Pendulum Call, so you can always add it back. So yeah, that's always a thing. Now I'm going to use the Endymion. And I'm going to special summon it with 1 counter. And I'm going to summon the Jackal King from my deck, just to lock out any possible hand traps right here, bar impermanence. So if you're that afraid of impermanence, like your opponent has opened it a couple of times, you know they are playing it, you can always go for the Endymion right here, like the Mighty Master of Magic. That way you can also negate an Endymion, but an infinite impermanence. So we want to scale up, so we're going to go with Dragon Magician, getting this 3. And right now we are going to go with a pretty standard play, I'm guessing. So I'm pretty sure I don't mind the Time Gazer being here. This does seem kind of... I really want to get rid of this one, so I'm getting rid of the Dark Worm, and I'm gonna get rid of the Servant. I am losing out on a counter, but I don't think I mind. And I'm gonna summon the Electromite. Now at this point, Electromite's effect, and I'm going to get a Dragon Pit Magician. The reason I'm gonna go for Dragon Pit is because I already want to have it in case I'm playing against the Mystic Mine deck. So if you already have it on the field, 9 out of 10 you're going to win, because the only real way they have anything to stop the Dragon Pit is with Dark Bribe, and they can't use it if it's already in the scale. So at this point, using the effect, popping the Harmonizing and getting back the Dragon Pit, and we're going to draw a card. We've drawn another Chronograph that isn't even bad, so yeah. Using the Dragon Pit and Dragon's effect to get back the Harmonizing. We're getting 2 more counters, so we're up to 5. And right now we're going to Pendulum Summon. We haven't even used our normal summon yet, so I'm actually thinking that if we can go even further, but I'm pretty sure we won't be able to. If I kept my Dark Worm, I would have been able to use all of my Guardragon plays even without a Pendulum Summon, but then the field would be full and the Pendulum Summon would be wasted anyway, so there's always that. So I'm just gonna go with the Pendulum Summon. I'm gonna go with Dark Worm and Harmonizing, and the other 2 cards I'm just gonna keep. So Harmonizing's effect is going to activate. I'm gonna put the Harmonizing here. That does seem better. And I'm gonna go for the Black Fang. Now I have to see. I'm going to use these 3. These will stick around. And then I can do some other plays. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that on the field for now. I could have made a Dawn Dragster already, just in case they have infinite impermanence for the LP. But yeah, I don't think it matters. I'm gonna go for LP. This gets banished. And we're gonna go for the Triple Burst. LP's effect. The Strudo. And right here, making Agar Pain. Agar Pain's effect, summoning Vortex. And then we're going to use these 2 for the Heretic Link. It's practically always the same. You just have to start differently, I'm guessing. Right now you can do one of 2 things. If I was playing a Borreload Savage Dragon, I'd be able to go for it. And I am going to show that, that you actually can. So with these 2 you can make a Dawn Dragster. Period. You'll have your Dawn Dragster and the Strudo will be in the graveyard for next turn. That's always a good point to end with. What you can also do is using the Destrude. Oh, I wouldn't have been able to go for Savage because this is a tuner as well, so... Could make a rank 4. No, not even that. No, this is the actual only correct play right here. So I'm gonna go for the Dawn Dragsta. And I'll have to end my field like this. I haven't used my normal summon because I have 2 high scales in my hand. I will also not be able to go for my normal summon. And I have the Strudo in the graveyard, so if things were to come to fruition, I would have actually been able to make another level 7. So the Quantum Cyber Dragon seems fine there. And I'm probably going to actually run that, so yeah. You have the Erratic Seal to go into a Morphage slot, and then you have the Chronograph as well for protection, which you can summon together with the Gate 0. So you have the O-Dragon Dragon Pit combo ready, so you can add Harmonizing back. Pretty sure you're going to survive. You're going to have a lot of cards in your hand next turn as well, so yeah. I'm liking this field. It's not the best one you'll ever see, but you have some resources left for next turn and some follow-up plays, so it's always good. So yeah, that's it for this video. KM888 out.